Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence. It keeps this channel ad-free. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and this is the Platinum Curidas. It is a click pen like this, and it has been a source of confusion for a lot of people because they're not sure how to take it apart and put it back together, and so that's what this video is going to show you, plus a little tip to fix an internal problem that I've had a time or two. So, in order to take it apart, you first want to remove the barrel, like this. We'll take this apart, and then you're left here with this assembly here. Now, in order to get to the converter and take that stuff apart, you'll notice that there is a little peg in a track that goes around right here, and that is the thing to concentrate on. So you want to push this silver bit right here with my right hand in until that peg reaches the bottom of the track, rotate, and then release, and it will come out, should come out easily with no problems. You can also take out the spring if you want to. I guess you could like pull on it and make it a little bit tighter so that you had more of resistance when you click, but I don't think that's a thing anybody wants. You can set this aside. There's no further disassembly on this piece. Now, here you have the nib, you have the sort of feed unit, you have this sleeve, and you have a converter, or you can put a cartridge in here if you like. So in order to remove this sleeve, you don't want to mess with this. This just stays here. It's only useful for that previous step. But you have here another peg in a track. You want to turn and then just pull off. There shouldn't be any resistance. Don't try to twist it all the way off. That won't work. And so you can set this aside, and this gives you access to your converter or your cartridge. I have a converter on here and it is obviously full of ink, but whatever, I'm going to live dangerously and pull it off. There we go. Now, you'll want to be careful to pull straight off and not to try to do this. If you do this motion, you may break off this pipe here, and then you are busted. Don't do that. You need that pipe there. Just pull it straight off. If you pull it straight off, it shouldn't be a problem. So there you go. The nib and feed unit, the converter or cartridge. You don't actually need to remove all of this stuff in order to refill this pen if you're using a converter. You can just access the piston knob from outside of the housing. So here's how you put it all back together. I want to get this little, you see this little peg right here. You see the track right there. Slip it over the top. Put it in the track, give it a twist. That's all there is to it. It doesn't need to be tightened or anything. That's it. Now, like I said, you don't have to take this sleeve off. You can just use the piston knob from outside of the sleeve. So you don't have to disassemble it any further than this if you don't want to, but some folks do, and sometimes you want to, really clean the converter or something like that with a syringe, and so you might need to take that apart. Now, to put this back in the front half of the pen, just the reverse of that process, put it in through the spring. You want to line up the peg on this plastic bit to the track here. You'll feel a little bit of resistance when you get to right here. Don't worry, that's normal, it's okay. You're just pushing up against this internal bit right here at the front, I think, and that's totally fine. So you'll get a little bit of resistance, just push through it gently, twist, and release. And there you go. It is back together. You can screw the back on. No problem. And there you go, taking apart and putting back together the Curidas. Now, here is a problem that I've seen a couple of people have, and I had it on one of my pens. I have several Curidases, so I've had this problem before, and I figured out the fix. So the problem was I would click it, and it would stay there. Like, if I were to remove my thumb, this would stay way exposed. This would stay all the way down instead of popping out a little bit as it's supposed to. It's supposed to go all the way and then, like, reset, right? But I wasn't getting that reset. It was just sticking right there. And I'd actually have to, push on the nib unit a bit to get it to pop back, right? So the fix for that was actually in here. I removed the barrel, and I removed this bit, like this. Took out the spring, and what I noticed was that this piece was not round. Like, it had been, this little flange right here had been bent outwards. And so what that was doing was that while this piece was in the track, it wouldn't actually be in the track. As you see, it's supposed to be like nestled in that track. So if you spin it, like you can't turn it very far. It was just turning freely inside, inside this metal piece because it wasn't catching. It wasn't narrow enough. So what I did was I took that apart and I gave this just a little bit of a pinch. Now this is only connected right here and it is fairly thin aluminum, and so don't pinch it too hard. If you break this off, you'll have a bad time. So you probably shouldn't have to do this at all, but if you do, just give it a little bit of a pinch here to kind of like reset it, and it'll be round. Put the spring back in, don't forget that. Pop this back in here, and away you go. So what was happening was this was like just getting caught inside this. It was getting out of the track it was supposed to be in, and that was no good, and it was making the click bad. But fixed it, no problems at all. Now it's good, and it hasn't bent itself back out. I think it was just a manufacturing thing that I fixed when I pinched the track. So there you go. That's how you take it apart, put it back together, and the most common problem I've seen and heard about is that little pinch right there. So there you go. Enjoy your Curidas. Let me know if you have other questions down below in the comments, and I'll see if I can help you out. All right, that's it. Peace out.